We are on the air, Pops. What time is it?
It's Chomp time.
It is Chomp time indeed. Welcome one, welcome all. I am Mike. That is Pops. This is the Chomp Time Podcast. This is already episode 12, Pops. Episode 12, I have dubbed Night, as in it's a night game, and we're
Yeah,
playing the UCF Knights.
yeah,
Also,
yeah,
is it going to be night for the Knights, or is it going to be night for Mr. Billy Napier? We
Well,
will
we
we
shall
will get
see.
into the we shall see. I am still on vacation, although it's a working vacation of sorts, an unpaid working vacation. I have used a bunch of the tools and yard tools that you've given me.
Yeah,
A tree lopper is the tool I use today. Just out in the yard, had to take care of some tree branches and trunks, and got a good sweat out there and burned some calories. So we're good. We're having some fun. Not making any money, but it's good. Good times. No thoughts on that?
well, I know that I filled up a whole U-Haul of all kinds of outdoor equipment, from lawnmowers to what's that thing that when snows? What is it called? That thing with the
The
snow?
snowblower?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, that's funny being in Florida. That's a good joke. I like that.
Yeah,
Much appreciated with all the tools. I've used just about all of them in my year and a half here, so that's great. As far as the Chomp Time Podcast, episode 12, Night, we are going to have a few segments today. We're going to break down the UCF Knights. We are
yeah,
going to break down the UF Gators. What's our current status after the bye and a hurricane? We're
yeah,
going to go over some keys to the game. We'll
yeah,
let you take control of the reins for that.
yeah.
And then finally, we will have three predictions
Wow,
each,
wow.
including the final score. So let's get right into this. Pops, UCF breakdown, take it away.
Well, what I normally do, when we play another team, I kind of talk about the university as a whole. University of Central Florida, okay, was founded. What year do you think it was founded?
1938.
You are wrong, sir. It was 1963.
Wow,
Yeah,
1963.
yes, sir.
I wasn't even close.
It's basically well, it's basically in Orange County. It's right outside of Orlando. They don't actually say Orlando, but it's in Orange County.
Is
Uh,
it public or private?
it's a public. It's part of the state universities of Florida.
Okay.
It was first called Florida Tech University, and in 1968 they changed it to UCF. Now, their mascot, the first one was called Knights of Pegasus.
Pegasus. Okay.
Yeah, and then they changed that to the Golden Knight. Okay,
Okay.
and now it's just Knights.
So Golden offended somebody apparently. So now
Probably
we're
the
just the
coloring. It's
Knights.
the color again.
All
They
right.
they play in the Big 12. That's their
First year in
conference.
the Big 12, right?
Pardon me?
This is their first year in the Big 12, I
It
believe.
is. It is, sir. Yes. Um, a lot of alumni. They actually have a a large student body of undergraduates and graduates of 68,000. Yeah, I looked
That's
up
more
U.
than,
Yeah, I looked up UF. UF's got like 42,000.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
numerous campuses of UCF. Numerous.
Oh,
So it's
so that
what.
counts all of them. That
Yes,
counts all. Okay.
yes, yes. Um, so alumni. Not really, somebody that's out there that you would say, oh, I know that. The only one I could really find like a movie star was Cheryl Hines. You know who Cheryl Hines is?
Cheryl Hines she's a model, wasn't she?
No, she's a star where she was the wife of Larry David in that one series that he did. Um, he had his own series. She also is the wife in real life of RFK Jr.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The two
guess
people.
somewhat interesting. I'm not
Yeah.
very intrigued by it, but go ahead.
The two people that would have to do with restaurants. I got you a couple here. Chris
Ah,
Tomaso, he's the founder of First Watch,
okay.
and Brian Wheeler, he's the founder of Tijuana Flats. Both graduates at UCF.
Okay. Anything interesting coming up in your little research there?
That's about
Anything?
all. That's about
Okay,
all.
well, um, my research on UCF has more to do with sports, but that's fine. They are 3-1 coming into the game against the Gators.
Yeah.
They were 3-0 and lost to Colorado last week, 48-21 at home. So Colorado thumped them a bit. Their head coach of UCF is none other than Arthur Gustavo Malzahn III,
Gesundheit.
better known as Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
This guy was the offensive coordinator for the 2010 Auburn team, where he was a major factor in recruiting Cam Newton, a former Florida Gator, to the Auburn Tigers, who obviously won the Heisman that year. They won the national title that year. He was an offensive coordinator. He left after that year to become the head coach of Arkansas State. The year after Auburn won it all under Gene Chizik,
Yeah.
they went 3-9 and 0-8 in the SEC in 2011.
Yeah.
Obviously, Newton was only there for 1 year and they lost a bunch of players, but it later came out Gene Chizik was fired shortly after that because the media was saying, well, the national title must have been because of Gus Malzahn because he was the offensive coordinator. He had their offense. He runs an up-tempo offense, which we like. No huddle, hurry up. And so a couple of years later, they hired him as the head coach of Auburn, where he went 68-35, not horrible, much better than our guy currently, but 68-35 at Auburn. That wasn't good enough for the Auburn faithful. So he was like, oh, he later, obviously took his current job, which is UCF, and he is
Yeah.
27-17 at UCF, which is good,
Well,
but
they're playing some better teams right now. I mean, so it's they're
yeah,
playing in the big boy leagues.
right. And their team this year is highly thought of.
Yeah.
They are a 2.5 point favorite at the Swamp
Yeah.
at a night game. UCF being favored at Florida, the University of Florida football team, the mighty Gators. That's embarrassing.
Can I make a point why they're favored? Why I think they're favored?
Go ahead.
They have three running backs.
Yes,
These three running backs have averaged 7.0, 6.4, and 7.1 yards to carry.
that's fine. The
They
first three
run
teams,
the ball, and our line sucks.
yes, they are. I know. We'll get into that, but I'm just saying the University of Florida Gators are underdogs at home to UCF,
Yeah.
a school that you said just got into the Big 12. They're just now getting into Power 4 football. Their school itself was only established in 1963. It's embarrassing, yes. So UCF under Mr. Malzahn, hurry up offense. They are, yeah, they are number 4 currently this year in total offense in the country.
Yeah.
They average 326 yards per game on the ground. Now,
Yeah.
they played 4 games that are 3-1. The first 2 games were blowouts. They didn't play really anybody.
Right.
The third game they played at TCU. TCU's not bad, and they won that game at TCU. They played Colorado. They're decent. They've got a lot of stars on their team. So, yeah, they played 4 games, but regardless of who they played, 326 yards per game rushing is a lot. And coming into play Florida, where our biggest problem is defense, and our biggest problem on defense is stopping the run, our front seven and tackling, this could be pretty ugly. It could
That's
get ugly. Their UCF's quarterback is KJ Jefferson, who's a passing and running quarterback through 4 games. He's thrown for 800 something yards. He's run for
he
212
he averages 211 yards passing.
passing. And their running back is RJ Harvey, which apparently Napier says reminds him of ETN, even though he didn't mention ETN by name. And Harvey has 525 yards rushing through 4 games. So he's averaging over 100 yards per
Yeah.
game rushing. They present quite a challenge to our Gators. I am concerned. As I looked over their stats and what they do, what they like to do, we might be in for a long night, pun intended. So let's go right into UF. What do you got with UF?
Well,
Currently.
we had a week off. All right.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't been able to verify how many of the 11 players that were hurt are coming back.
They won't tell us.
No, there's nothing out there, but I understand Wilson is practicing.
I
Um,
think he's going to play. I think
yeah,
Trey's back.
it looks like he's practicing. It looks like a couple of the defensive backs have been practicing, but again, they don't want to give us any information, so it's hard to say what we're at. The good news is we had a week off, so heal up a little bit because we've gotten pounded so far this year, and so this was a good time right now. We got another bye coming up, but right before the Georgia game. But it's kind of like let's relax a little bit, get back our strength, get back into the situation, start practicing again, and all this. This is, like you said, is an up tempo offense. We have to be fast. We can't be running on and off the field because we're going to get called for penalties. Again, it's the same old thing, okay? If our lines, both offensive and defensive, can't control the line of scrimmage, we don't have a chance. I'm sorry, we don't. We don't have a chance.
And we should be able to do that just from a recruiting standpoint, just for on paper. We have every bit the talent that they have, if not more.
Yeah,
We have the home crowd behind us. Somehow we continue to sell out. Gator Nation, I applaud you
yeah.
for continuing to buy tickets, even in the state that this program is in. Napier, I do not like must win. You use the term more than I do, but this is do or die. If he loses this game, even though we are underdogs, I say if he loses this game, he's out. This is do or die. This is not Florida State, and Florida State's down as well, but Florida State historically, big time college football program. This is UCF. They're just getting going in
I,
Power Four football. I don't care who their coach is. I don't care
yeah.
who their players are. We have better players on paper.
I,
We need to win this game.
I,
I listened to Napier's once again
mundane,
ridiculously
mundane.
mundane press conference. He he lost the battle with the water bottle in week 2. He lost the battle this week with a microphone.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
started the press conference and the microphone wasn't working.
yeah,
He kept talking as some AV guy. You could hear him in the background trying to
yeah.
figure out, but he's still talking. And then finally, the guy comes with a microphone that's working and puts it in front of him, and Billy just kind of stands there and then goes back and goes into his. We got to do this, and we're getting better. We're
Okay,
progressing. We
okay,
got to.
okay. Let me just say this. I was on the front of the line saying this guy was going to be gone on the bye week. I was on the front of the line saying no matter what happened in the last game against Mississippi State, he was going to be
You
gone.
no longer think so.
I was wrong. I truly believe right now that we're in our fifth game. Everybody's played. Nobody's going anywhere. Everybody's used up their, if you don't use the fourth game, you can redshirt and all that. Everybody's done that. It doesn't matter
We'll
anymore.
see. We'll see.
It
This
doesn't
is game
matter.
5. You can play
To
4
me,
games.
I think he's still sticking around because at this point, I don't think they know of anybody who's gonna be the interim coach on the current roster. And the same thing is
All right. So
is it gonna make any difference?
at least give me this. Maybe it
Yeah,
doesn't mean his job per se
yeah,
immediately, although
yeah.
I think he's already done.
I think he is too.
If we lose this game,
Yeah,
this season is going to get bad
ugly,
quickly.
ugly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
If we win this game, it's a team that's favored against us. It's a team that's playing better than us, even though they got blown out last week at home. It gives us, again, some momentum. That'll be 2 wins in a row, right? And
Yeah.
it gives you some momentum going back into SEC play.
If we
It's a
lose
huge.
if we lose this game, we will not be favored in any of the last 7 games. Period. End of story.
No.
It's over.
And a couple of things that Napier said that pissed me off in the half the press conference I could stomach. We really got after it in practice. No shit. You better get after it in practice because my research says that in total defense, the Florida Gators right now in total defense
112
is 112 through four
practice.
games.
Practice.
Through four games, three of which were at home, and two of which were against not very good teams. So in total offense, UF is ranked 50th in the nation. In total defense, they're 112.
Yeah.
In UCF, total offense, they're ranked number 4 in the nation. And their total defense is number 53 in the nation. So that's why they're favored with players that are not as good as ours on paper. So they obviously know how to coach them up. Gus Malzahn's name will start circulating for the Florida job
So
if he wins the game.
It already has. To me, it's not a key to the game, but it's part of the game. Is we saw what Mizell could do. You bring Wilson back. All right, we got some really good wide receivers. Let's use them. I'm all against this alternating quarterback thing.
Yeah.
I don't even like every third one. Just give him some play. Just get AR some plays, and let's run them in and run them out. Mertz's best.
AR. Do you mean DJ?
Oh, I'm sorry. Another guy goes hurt. Yeah.
Let me finish. So the second thing he said during the press conference that pissed me off two different ways.
Yeah.
We need to develop with his stupid fucking hands. We need to develop some kind of we need to develop a pass rush. So number one, of course we do. But number two, this is not the team that you should be talking about that. Your whole deal about talking about defense is wrapping up physical at the point of attack. This team is going to try and run it down our throat. And you should be talking about stopping the run, not a pass rush per se for this game. Oh my! This guy gets me so upset.
This game is perfect for us in that we play man to man and put as many people in the box as we can because they're going to run the ball. All right, they're going to run the ball. So put as many men in the box, and the defensive backs. The guy doesn't normally pass a lot, but our guys have to stay with the guys. That's all there is to it.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 7 to 8 guys in the box on every single play.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it.
And if he beats us with his arm, he beats us with his arm. Their whole team is based around the run. Let's make them beat us with the pass. That's what I'm looking for. Are they actually going to take away? What's their game plan going to be? The two quarterbacks is an absolute joke. I believe they're still going to do that. He's not smart enough to say that we're still going to do it and then not do it. So he's saying we're still going to do it. What an idiot. So let's go right into the keys of the game. I'm going to give you the reins here, and you give me your 3 major keys to the game.
Yeah. Well, I preached this since week 1. All right. Number 1 is line play. Our offensive and defensive line have to stand up and push. Push forward on offense, push back on defense, and get to these damn quarterbacks. We cannot let these guys run all over us. That's what they do. They run the ball. And
if we lose the line of scrimmage,
if you decide to blitz, let's not go 20 yards out and decide to bring a guy 20 yards out to blitz. Please.
So
that's my number 1 key. Number 1 key. Number 2 key. You said it last week or this week, whatever it was. We need to win games. Period. End of story. If we lose players, it is what it is. We need to win games. Mertz is my quarterback. I will take.
So your number 2 key is not to win. These are keys to winning the game. So your number 2 key is just Mertz needs to shine.
He has to, and he has to be our main quarterback. I'm tired already of 2 games of in and out, in and out, in and out. First it was every other down set of play. Then it was every third.
No, that's fine, but he's still going to do it. So you're saying your number 1 key is line play, which if we lose the line of scrimmage, on both sides of the ball, we lose the game and we lose by a lot.
Right.
Number two, you're saying Mertz needs to shine, which hopefully means that he takes over the reins as the number one quarterback moving forward. And DJ, sprinkle him in. Have some
Right.
have some creativity and sprinkle them
Yeah.
in, not for series, but for little plays.
Yeah.
Have little packages here within a drive.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, number three.
We've talked about it already. Okay. The name of the game is stop the run. So if you need to put 8 guys, 9 guys in a box, I don't care what the hell we do. Play man to man and put everybody in the box. If you're gonna beat us by the air, so be it. Okay,
Yeah,
so be it. I want to stop the run because that's what they're the best at. They're the best
yeah.
at the run.
So your three keys are line play, Mertz, and stopping the run. I think stopping the run is part of line play, but I'll accept those three
No, it's not. No, no.
as very important parts of the game. I personally think I agree wholeheartedly with let's do everything we can to stop the run. Let's hope that we practice some tackling. Let's hope that we practiced run blitzing and
How about
how to do it.
technique? How about
Tech,
technique?
technique, maybe disguising who's coming, who's not, what gap is going to be taken by what player. I think that, like every game, turnovers, I think, might play a part. For some reason, Pops, I think special teams is going to play a very vital role in this game. I don't know why, but I think special teams can win you a game. We have not shown that in years since
No.
Urban Meyer, where Urban Meyer's his offense was dynamic, of course. He had studs on defense, but there were games where our special teams with blocks and returns were game changers. Like
Yes.
the momentum from our special teams would win you a game. I want to see that happen in one of these games. Maybe this is the one. So keep an eye out for that. So those are our keys to the game. And if you don't agree with us, too freaking bad, because we know what we're talking about. We had a rough start. But we now know what our Gators' problems are. I think we need to play Mizell. We were talking that's kind of left field. One of my keys is get Mizell, get some of the players that have shown flashes into the game prominently. So there's that. So predictions. Let's go into 3 predictions to wrap up this episode. 3 predictions each. Our last prediction each will be our final score for the game. So I'm going to let you go with your first 2 predictions, and I'll do my 2. Then you'll do your final score, and I'll do my final score. So your first 2 predictions of anything to do with the game, stats, attendance.
91,500 will be showing up because this is an in-state game, and this is an opportunity that UCF sees to beat the mighty Gators. They will be in force. They will be loud. Our fans are also loud, obviously, because we're playing in the swamp. But it's going to be a packed house.
Yes, you are predicting standing room only beyond a sellout. Okay, what's your number 2?
Number 2, Mr. Mertz is going to throw for over 250 yards and 2 tutties.
Ooh, 250. More than 250 and 2 touchdowns. I think if that happens, I like our chances. My 2 predictions. I desperately tried to stay positive as I was looking over everything, looking at our stats, looking at their stats. The total offense and total defense numbers really put me into kind of a panic and kind of a downward spiral of sorts. My number 1 prediction, UCF will indeed rush for over 300 yards against the mighty Gators. Now they're averaging 326 yards per game, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That includes 2 very weak opponents. But, Dad, we can't tackle. We talk about the offensive and defensive lines every week, especially the defensive line. We're rotating guys in. We have one of the biggest men in all of college football that somehow does not plug up the middle. I don't know how he doesn't. Our technique is awful. Our scheme is awful. I think they're going to rush for 300 yards. I can't believe I'm saying this, that a lower, they are a power four team now, but for years they were not. And they're going to rush for 300. I can't believe that's my prediction, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Mike, your thoughts on that?
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
All right. My number, my number two prediction is that Mizell, which I just mentioned briefly here
Yeah.
recently, Mertz and Mizell are going to connect for 2 touchdowns.
All right.
I think he is going to be on the field for most of our plays, maybe 75% of our snaps. You can't not put that guy in the field with what he has seen with his limited availability and his limited catch. He's electric and he can make moves. He's fast. He's got hands. You have got to keep him, get him on the field and keep him on the field.
Yeah.
Uh, I think with the over under, I'm sorry, UCF is favored by 2.5 in this game. The over under is 62.5. So you put those numbers together, they're basically saying in Vegas or online gambling that UCF is going to win this game 32-30. That's the prediction with all the gambling sites and everybody, 32-30. So somewhat of a shootout, which makes sense. Their defense is not, their total defense is 53rd. Part of that is probably helped by their total offense being number 4, and they run the ball. So they eliminate the
Their
clock.
time of
They're on the
possession
field.
their time
Yeah.
of possession is really
Yeah,
low.
so that limits the other team's offense. So, but I still, the time that they are on defense, they're obviously not shining. So, your final prediction for the score for the UCF Knights, not the Golden Knights, not the Pegasus Wonders, whatever you called them before, the UCF Knights coming into the swamp against the mighty Gators. What is your prediction?
Well, my prediction is this is the last game we possibly might win. And I
Okay.
have us I have us winning 31-24.
31-24. Pops still is drinking the Gatorade Kool-Aid, the zero flavor of the Napier press conferences, be it in-game, post-game,
Well,
Monday.
there's some reason behind it. First of all, yeah, we're at home. The crowds are going to be amped both sides because it's an in-state game. Um, we had a week off. That means a lot. They got battered a little bit by Colorado. So,
Yes,
it helped us. Hopefully, we get most of these other players back. I think Mertz continues to shine. I mean, I just looking at the stats. We have 5 interceptions this year. Mertz only has 2. One of them wasn't his fault. Okay.
right.
And, DJ's got 3. But I mean, we really don't, interceptions wise, we're not too bad a shape. Fumbles, we're actually not in too bad a shape either.
You make
It's just
you
we
make
haven't
some
played well.
valid you make some valid points. We had basically 2 weeks off. We had some nagging injuries that probably healed up and we're ready to go. We lost the last time we played this team and they put up a billboard right outside of Gainesville letting everyone on 75 know that.
And I would have
So
done the
you make
same
some
damn thing. I would have done the
you
same damn thing.
yeah, you make some valid points, but you are absolutely incorrect yet again. UCF, unfortunately, will come into the swamp, dash all our dreams of being the mighty Gators again. They will come in and they will win 35-27. I do believe we will try and stack the box at times, but ultimately they will run us over.
Can I ask you a question after you've made your prediction here?
Go
I
ahead.
seem to remember that I predicted that we would beat Mississippi State. I kind of remember that I said we would win. And then I
You're
remember
incorrect.
somebody else saying, nah,
Yeah, I thought we were going to lose. I was incorrect.
you are incorrect today.
So I'm hoping that you are correct. I'm hoping that you are right. I desperately wanted to say that Florida's going to win this game. We're going to stop their run somehow or outscore them somehow. Let's hope it happens. Let's hope it happens. I'm still on vacation, so I get to watch the whole game in my family room with my snacks. Maybe I'll have a nice cold beverage. I'll be able to text you after every play. It's
You
going
know
to be
what's
good. It's going to be like old times. I look forward to it very much.
You know what's interesting is last week, no pressure, we're not playing. So I watched a multitude of college games.
Yeah.
Boy, there's some really interesting and really dynamic plays out there that we don't seem to want to use. I mean, these other teams are doing double reverses, passes back to the quarterback. You know, you name it, they do it, and we have the same. Mom goes, if they throw one flanker screen, I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah. So Pops is still begging for some creativity, some imagination, some trick plays for the love of God.
Not even trick plays. Just give me some imagination.
Anything. This was the Chomp Time podcast. This was episode 12, which I called Night. We'll see how that Night translates to the game. I am Mike. That is Pops. Come on, Gators.
Let's get up and go.
Take care, everybody.